2:22 on the clock as I begin this message. So this channel dream message is about a divine masculine. And in this vision that I have of him, he's rushing. He's rushing into this truck, like a moving truck, some sort of truck. But this masculine, he's driving on the side of the street on the wrong side, basically where there's oncoming traffic. And I'm seeing that there's an ambulance coming by. And the masculine has to pull over while this ambulance is rushing by. But there's a feminine with him also that's trying to calm him down. And he's like overly stressed, and she's rubbing his shoulders, trying to get him to calm and ground himself. But a moving truck represents transition, relocation, a life shift, This isn't something small. This is something big. It's heavy, right? This dream is basically saying that the masculine energy he's carrying a lot. He's in the middle of a major change in a cycle of his life. He's moving too fast through a life shift, rushing. And the symbolism of him driving on the wrong side of the street is also very important. It's basically this masculine, he's going against the natural flow of things. He's in his ego, having ego-driven decisions, being in survival mode, fighting life instead of going with the flow of things. So this masculine is pushing through a flow of danger or chaos. And the ambulance passing by him is a signal of an urgency, emergency, divine intervention. This masculine needs healing. But also this ambulance represents something serious, and it can't be ignored. It's like a wake-up call for this masculine. There's a situation in his life that requires for him to slow down immediately. If you notice he's having to pull over. That means that life is forcing him to take a pause. Take a break, take a pause, reflect. The feminine next to him, calming him down, rubbing his shoulders. This is a key point. Because the shoulders represents all the burdens that he's carrying, the pressure, multiple responsibilities. And when she rubs his shoulders and tells him to calm down, this feminine is grounding him. She's regulating his nervous system and bringing peace in his life to the chaos that he's currently going through. She's helping him move from fight mode into trust, and then he relaxes. That means that this feminine energy, her presence is stabilizing him, and her energy calms his ego. She brings balance to his recklessness. So this spiritual meaning behind all this is that the masculine energy is supremely overwhelmed, and he's rushing. He's making moves out of pressure, and he's not aligned with the natural flow of things. This is a wake-up call that's coming in, or it's already occurring. It's already happened. And the feminine energy is the stabilizer. Now, this isn't just about the masculine. This is also about the feminine's dynamic as well. She's carrying a calming energy, divine feminine energy. So when she steps into her softness, instead of control, things shift. But also the divine feminine needs to know that because she's calming him and rubbing his shoulders, that she is basically putting herself in a place of being responsible for his peace. So this is not a random dream or situation. There's a transition happening right now. This masculine is being forced to slow down. This is an emergency intervention. This is about control versus surrender, pressure versus calm, chaos versus divine timing. Another part of this message is that this feminine, she's wanting to be intimate with her man, with her masculine. But there are other people in the room, 2 others. You know, this is giving them no privacy. So she decides, hey, let's go into another room. And he agrees. Let me break this down for you. This is not just about sex, because it is about intimacy, but this is more about union, intimacy, emotional merging, creative energy, sacred connection, and a desire for closeness. So this isn't just about lust. This feminine is wanting private, emotional, and energetic union with her masculine. The 2 other people in the room, this no privacy, this equates to outside interference, third-party energy, family and friends' opinions, spiritual watchers, distractions, public exposure, and past attachments. This is meaning that the connection cannot deepen while others are present. So notice that she didn't force anything. She just says, let's go into another room. That's the maturity on her part, her boundaries, the sacred space that she's requiring for their intimacy. The other room, now that other being in another room signifies a level of consciousness, right? Privacy, intimate zones that no one else should be able to cross. She's saying if we're going to connect, we need to be protected in our own space. And he agrees. So he's willing to move into this privacy and deeper connection with this feminine. But the main objective here is that he's rushing. He, the masculine, is out of alignment. And there's an emergency energy of him needing to be calm. She wants intimacy, but she requires privacy and boundaries. This masculine has a lot of chaos in his life, and he's needing to ground himself. The feminine, she's wanting this deeper connection, but there's outside interference blocking the intimacy. So they need a sacred space, somewhere to dip off and get away, right? Because you can't connect and grow in a public space of chaos. If you understand this message, or if it resonates, comment the word private in the comment section. If you understand what this message is about and what it's revealing. So all in all, this is about a connection that won't happen in a public space. Some connections cannot happen publicly. So it has to be done in another room, in another space. I hope this message helps. Peace.